shit in my mouth, I'll pay you double. I swear I'm good for it. Please don't leave. I'm desperately, desperately lonely and in need of somebody shitting in my mouth, directly onto my tongue. Good evening and welcome to the ewansucks podcast, coming to you live from the ewansucks podcasting studios, otherwise known as some dingy one-bedroom hole rented by a bearded twat. Tonight's episode brought to you entirely in the voice of a BBC News broadcaster, live from Baghdad. Scores of women eating their babies. Tune in later to find out more details on that. Reports say, piss in my face. I'm not sure how long I can keep this character going, but I guess we'll have to just wait and see. Evidently, as you can see, we are drawing a still life, as this would appear to be a bird's skull, though we are unsure of the exact fucking genus of said bird. Needless to say, it is in fact bird. Yeah, I think I'm about done with that one. We're drawing a still life of a bird's skull. I hope you enjoy the show. Grab a drink, strap in, and please shut your fucking mouths. In Baghdad, in the Cayman Islands, Gran Canaria, often a fun holiday resort for many, turned to tragedy after many people shitting their brains out of their anuses, murdering children on sight, and collectively giving AIDS to all they see. If you've not turned off already, I commend you for sticking around. Please continue to do so, as later on we've got Michael Jackson in studio. I'm going to finger his anus while he molests a child right in front of me. In Baghdad. Oh, you get the joke. We get the joke, Ewan. You can stop doing that stupid voice now. Oh, can I? Well, maybe I don't want to. I might just carry on for the next hour. Next up, the weather and the traffic report. A 4-car pile-up on the M27 headed to Portsmouth. One onlooker said, and we agree. What could be worse? Driving to work in the morning when suddenly, when suddenly you shit yourself all over the inside of your car, spilling your coffee into your lap. Oh no, that's some hot coffee. We'll have news later on from the current goings-on in Baghdad. Wanking in public. A fun pastime for many children, but for one young lad, it became something of a horror. Attracting the attention of popular local child molester known as Ewan, he was chased around the park with a big stick. Ewan could be heard yelling, "Just give me your penis, all I want is your penis. You don't even have to be attached. Just please give me your young delicious penis." Ewan was later arrested again and put on the even worse sex offender list. Somebody needs to work on their improv skills. Maybe somebody should spend more time actually recording podcasts instead of just saying, yes, one day I'll record another podcast. Maybe if you actually put some work in, you'd actually use the word actually twice in a sentence and sound like the absolute fucking dick face that you are. I hope your mother's proud, you absolute fucking penis. Penis is falling off. It's now a pandemic. Reginald Penis of South Wales said he'll never eat another penis again. Though his wife says, don't worry, he can have mine later on. The skull of a bird, otherwise known as a bird's skull. There is another part to this still life drawing, but we are not wanting at the moment to spoil the surprise. Oh, Jesus. Stay in character, Ewan. Believe in yourself and you can achieve anything. Well, that's what they said in his school, and oh boy, were they wrong. Here's something I've noticed during my time of doing observational drawings, which is to say, drawing from observation, observing a subject and trying to recreate that subject within the confines of a drawing. Oh, pardon me, that's the Dr. Pepper coming up. In Baghdad. With regards to line drawings, it's usually best to come at the subject from a more impressionistic stance, whereby you don't necessarily heed to the... Okay, you don't necessarily heed to the exact fucking thing that you're looking at. Don't try and copy it down exactly as you see it, but just sort of get the impression of what you're looking at. So look at it and say, yes, that looks more or less. Give your impression of what you're looking at as opposed to a detailed recreation of what you're looking at. As long as it looks like what you think it looks like, that's all that counts. That's what I go by. But from there, I find it's far easier to get a stronger resemblance, a more accurate representation of what you're drawing when using shade and, dare I say it, even colour. Because when you're line drawing, you go, oh look, this is here, I guess. You arrange lines in such a way that it looks like it might be, more or less accurate. But then when you come to shading and colouring, you've got more information to work with, and therefore when this colours, there's more of this shadow here, this colour there, and it builds a better representation of what it is you're trying to illustrate on the page. Yeah? Yeah! Fucking yeah! Let's fucking have a draw. Oh, I thought I was going to break into the voice again then. What voice might you be talking about, Ewan? Possibly the BBC News broadcaster voice. Stuff penises in my mouth until I can't breathe anymore. I would like to asphyxiate on as many penises as possible. Death by penis is truly the only way to go. Now over to Sue with the weather. I wasn't lying, by the way, when I said the other part. There's another object here, but that's got some weight to it, so I want to make that one a surprise. So for now, we're just drawing a little birdie bird skull. That was a birthday present from a fellow Instagram creator, or a creator who happens to use the medium of Instagram to share their products. I don't really want to label anyone as solely an Instagram creator. Oh, there's an argument for you. There you go. You may have seen the meme online that says, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" "Oh, I'm an Instagram model." "Oh, well, I'm a Call of Duty soldier." Tee-hee. See, because it doesn't exist. It's a made-up thing. However, I mean, let's be realistic here. As much as I don't really like to back one side or the other, Instagram models can and do actually make money, even livable wages, off of what they do. Like, people do actually make livable amounts of money off of being an Instagram model or whatever, whether it's through solely just modeling on their page or brand deals and sponsorships. There are people who do that, so it's like, oh, well, you can make fun of it, but at the end of the day, it exists. And presumably somewhere out there's a means to do that for art. Of course, it's easy to knock it and just go, "Oh yeah, well, I'm a Call of Duty soldier. How are you?" Except, that's dumb, because you can't actually do that. But you can actually make money out of being a model on Instagram. So, fuck yourself for that one. Which brings me to my next point, which is that I have no point at all. The death penalty should be implemented solely for me, for thinking I know at all what I'm talking about. Have me cremated and piss into the urn of my ashes. Piss, piss, piss. I wish to be covered in piss all of the time, nothing but glorious yellow piss. I don't even actually have like a piss fetish or anything. It's just funny to talk about piss. Makes people laugh when you say dumb shit like that. "Oh my god, did you hear talking about piss? That was really funny." Ooh. It's funny to say horrible things and make people, I don't know, get any kind of reaction, I guess. I was going to say laugh, but usually they don't. So obviously I have my broadcasting voice. "Oh, hi, I'm Ewan. This is my broadcasting voice. This is the character of Ewan's voice that I talk in when I'm doing things and videos and such. But I'm told it's more interesting to listen to me when I'm in my normal voice, talking about things I'm passionate about, whatever the fuck that means anymore. Frankly, I've lost all passion for what I do years and years ago, as if I haven't already fucking gone on and on about that for God knows how long. Sorry, I was just making sure the microphone was plugged in, because if it's only halfway plugged in, then it won't record any audio at all. And I feel very silly for having sat through a whole podcast. Well, a still life's all well and good, but it's often better to have more than one thing going on. Or is it? Okay, let's have a vote. Is it better to focus on one thing solely for an entire podcast? Or is it better to have a main plot and then a B plot, like in a sitcom, where the main characters split off and one group does one thing which advances the main plot of the storyline, while the other characters have a little side adventure, which happens more often than not. The examples I can think of are The Simpsons, but I can't think of any actual examples of that at the moment. So, let's do a B plot. Here's another project I'm working on in my spare time. So, the project is this: characters with one big arm as well as their regular sized arm. I've got a small list of 6 currently. I'm sure there are more out there, but these are the ones that are sort of outstanding, which is something I've thought about for a while, because it is a trope that you see. It exists as a thing. I've researched it very recently after creating my list. I believe it's called the right hand of doom trope, which I believe comes from Hellboy, pictured here in this drawing here that I've pictured here, with his right hand of said doom. Now, it's been a thing that find the thing. It's been something I've enjoyed drawing for a long time anyway, evidenced by this. See, there's a guy with a big bloody arm. Whoa, what's that arm doing? It's a big bloody arm is what. I've used it in a few other places as well. I don't know if there's any more examples in this book in particular. No, but you get the idea. One big arm, one big arm. It's a very quite an interesting graphic choice to make. It's quite a fun thing to draw, and that's primarily why I'm interested in it, because it's fun to draw. Yeah. So here we have Hellboy, the eponymous right hand of doom, the owner of the eponymous right hand of doom, the titular man himself. Alongside him we have Morty from that episode of Rick and Morty where he gets a big arm from an injection of someone's muscle memory into his arm in that like Mad Max episode in season 3. And this is I know the image of him more than I believe his name's William Birkin ? He's got like he's part mutant from Resident Evil, big mutant arm. Big arm, regular arm. See, you see the theme? And now we have a slightly more visually appealing page, which was actually drawn before the prior one, but, whatever. So Tetsuo from Akira, he gets his arm all infected, maybe, with Akira or whatever, biochemical, electronical, whatever, big swollen arm. Here we have Lobo as a woman from the 90s comic Lobo, the particular storyline Lobo's Back, where he dies, I think goes to heaven accidentally, maybe, and then gets sent back, but they send him back in like weird different bodies, so he keeps dying to go back to get his real body, something like that. So one of the bodies he comes back in is a sexy woman version of Lobo, but one of his arms is big muscly regular Lobo arm, so that works for our theme of big arms. And the last is the Charger, special zombie from the game Left 4 Dead, specifically Left 4 Dead 2, who has one silly little withered arm, but also one big ginormous arm. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, fuck. Of course the joke is, oh, how did you get that big right arm? Oh, masturbating obviously would be the joke there. I don't know where it is exactly. I've got a sketchbook with the drawing that I actually did a spray painted version of a guy from behind and he has one big swollen arm as well as his silly little arm, and it says, yeah, it got this big from drawing. Oh, wink nudge, see, kind of working on the masturbation joke. But ultimately, a fun image to draw and a good graphic image, pardon me, all round. Maybe I'll find that picture online and pop it up here. Oh wow, that was something. So my plan is to do something with this. I don't know, probably draw each of these characters individually, possibly using Pentel brush pens, as well as Bic pens for the shadowing and whatnot. I could get some nice lines there, especially for Lobo's hair and such. That'd be quite cool. And then maybe take those drawings, digitally scan them into a computer, which is something we can do nowadays with our current modern technology. Put them together, so maybe draw them individually, but keeping in mind with those drawings the plan to then put them together in one sort of collage so they fit together in a nice sort of 6-person image, and then make that as like a print, maybe? A print of characters with one big arm and one regular arm, maybe? And maybe even then, once it's in the, montage collage form, maybe make a coloured rendition. A painting would be nice. If I trace over it and paint it or print it off and paint whatever, you get it. I don't know, it'd be quite cool. Something to do in it. I've got a little bit of time off my day job at the moment, so getting a few Inktober drawings done, a few drawings for a certain Butvember next month. If you're watching this in October, otherwise I guess it's gone. I don't know. So yeah, time to work on some other projects, like people with big arms. Yeah, this page kind of bites, but this one is actually quite a nice little triptych of things. Maybe I'll put that on my Patreon, my close friends Instagram story, Patreon, something. So that's that I'm working on. Well, waddle doodle. Now, the issue we face with the further item in our still life drawing. Now, of course, the surprise of it would be spoiled if I were to draw it gradually. Because then, you know, not even halfway through, you'd go, oh, I see what he's drawing. What a lovely surprise. So, what I might do, quite out of the ordinary for a Ewan Sucks podcast, which I very rarely edit because, quite honestly, fuck that, is I'll jump cut to the finished drawing and then maybe cut back to me drawing the drawing, which may be boring, but we'll see how that goes. So right now, in time of recording this, I'm going to draw the thing, but you won't see that until after because I'm going to jump cut to it's a penis. Obviously, as you can, it's part of a penis. That was the surprise. I hope you liked the surprise. The surprise everyone likes the surprise penis. Not just me, but me too. Ha! That was a very current joke, is what that was. Very current indeed. See, because I drew a penis. Oh, look, Ewan drew a penis. He talks about penises, he jokes about penises, talks about wanting to be asphyxiated by penises, and then he drew a penis. I'll have to say, look away if you're squeamish, I guess, as I show you the penis. There it is, that's what I've been drawing, that's what I've drawn. This was a gift from someone, and this was a gift from the same creator of the thing. It's a severed silicone penis. Look at the lovely, nice and penisy. Penis all squidgy and nice. Doesn't taste too bad, but obviously you're not meant to eat it. It's a prop. Obviously, it's a prop. So that was my drawings for today. Boy howdy, what a... So, well, I mean, that came out okay. Maybe I'll sell it. Maybe someone will want to buy a drawing of a bird's skull and a severed penis. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, I'll play the rest of me drawing this sped up because, you know, no one really wants to watch me draw it full length. I wasn't really saying anything while drawing it, so you won't miss anything. It will just be that. The drawing of the penis sped up to close out the podcast. And if I can find some music, I'll put some music behind it. And if not, I won't. This has been Ewan, the shit-faced, idiot-ass broadcaster. Hope you enjoyed. Sweet dreams and good night.